What's going on, guys? This is another episode here in Nolan's Pod. NFL continuing the preseason is continuing. One thing that I want to get off my chest that I want to get off my chest because it's starting to get on my nerves since yesterday. You know that Indianapolis Colts, they named Daniel Jones to starting quarterback, and everybody's like, "Oh yeah, he won a job over Anthony Richardson," and people are acting like Daniel Jones is just some NFL superstar of a quarterback, and just because he won the job over Anthony Richardson, um, you know, it's just this whole big thing, and I'm just like, what? Really? What are y'all doing? What are we saying? What are we saying? Just so let me give you the stats for this game with the Colts and the Packers, this preseason game, and then we'll dive deeper into Daniel Jones and Anthony Richardson. Daniel Jones played in week 2 preseason. He was 7 of 11, 101 yards. He led an 11-play drive for 77 yards. That ended on a field goal. You take the good and the bad. He did a lot of good, but it's also bad in there. And you just shake your head like you got the good in there, but it's like it's the bad too. That you shake your head, you scratch your head. Same thing with Anthony Richardson. 6 for 11, 73 yards. He took 1 sack. He had a 9-yard rush. Richardson on the first drive, he led the Colts down to 90 yards down the field. He led the Colts 90 yards down the field over 12 plays, and that eventually got them into the end zone for a field goal. His short yards accuracy has been a problem. His short yard passing and his accuracy with the short yard passing game. He made a beautiful throw. He made a beautiful throw going over to his left. Made a beautiful short yard throw, even though it was called back because of a flag. It's improvements. It's showing improvements. He needs to get his short passing game right and his accuracy right in the short passing game. Okay, cool. He shows glimpses of that in this preseason game. And just the things that he needs to improve on, he showed in the preseason game that he's improved. One thing that I would say is he held the ball a little bit too long. Especially after getting in the end zone. It was one play that he just held the ball a little bit too long. And if he just gets rid of it on time, it's an easy touchdown. So just like Daniel Jones, you have the good, you have the bad. He shows flashes, does Anthony Richardson, and then his plays where you kind of scratch and shake your head. Same thing with Daniel Jones. So let's get into the nitty-gritty of it now between those two. They are the same quarterback. Just because Daniel Jones won the job does not mean that he's just so much better than Anthony Richardson. I don't know why y'all are saying that. I don't know. And maybe it's the tap out last year when he tapped out with Anthony Richardson, during that game. You never seen a quarterback do that before, and Anthony Richardson was like the first quarterback ever to do that. So maybe, but he came into training camp in the preseason looking better and improving on the things that he needs to improve on. He's 23 years old. He's injury prone, as we've seen over his first 2 years. He's very injury prone. And sometimes he has a problem with protecting himself, just like in the first preseason game. He didn't see the blind spot. Got sacked, dislocated pinky. Luckily, it wasn't anything worse than that because I thought it was his shoulder at first. Anyway, we talking about the negative part of it. It's a lot of good in what this kid can do. This kid has the arm talent. He can run. It's about him being smart when he runs. It's about him being smart when he's making his throws. He could throw it 100 yards down the field, but it's about being accurate and knowing when to do that. And that short yard pass that he made downfield with the accuracy, That's something that he would not have done last year, and it was a perfect pass. It just got called back because of a flag. He led them 90 yards down the field for 12 plays. They got into the end zone. It just ended in a field goal. Like I told y'all, had he hit the wide receiver on time and not held on to the ball a little bit too long, it's a touchdown. So you take the good and the bad. The man is only 23 years old. Y'all just drafted him 2 years ago. And give the man a fair shot. The only way that you are going to be able to improve and work on your game is if you get the reps. If you just sitting on the sideline, oh, I'm tired. I am so tired. Let him sit on the sidelines for a year. He needs to learn. Let's sit on the sidelines. No, you need to get the reps on the field. The man is 23 years old. You telling me that Daniel Jones is going to be his successor? And you're like, oh, we got Daniel Jones. Oh, we fine. You are not fine with Daniel Jones. You are not. Anthony Richardson is a young cat. He's 23. Let the man play. Let the man learn from his mistakes. You take the good and the bad and you roll with it. But to think that Daniel Jones is your answer just because he's been in the league longer, just because he made one playoff appearance, he had one good season, and not even that. And this is what we talk about. Like, these organizations, they give up on these quarterbacks so easily. Like, you have to let these kids play. You take a look at what the Falcons are doing. Kirk Cousins didn't work out. You got a young quarterback in Michael Penix. Fan base and people around the NFL are mad that Atlanta drafted Michael Penix when they just signed Kirk Cousins. Y'all, everybody was pissed off, and I'm looking like, what is everybody pissed off about when Kirk Cousins is older? He's not getting any younger. He's coming off a torn Achilles. You have to have a number 2, number 3, and sometimes number 4 quarterback on your roster in case the number 1 quarterback goes down. You have to have backups. Kirk Cousins didn't work out. He was bad. After the first 9 games, he was terrible. They say he was hurt. Do we truly know if he's hurt? No, we don't know. We don't know. Truly. But you put Michael Penix in there the last 3 games, he shows the potential of what he can do. That's why you need a legitimate young quarterback who's got it. You have Anthony Richardson. Yes, he showed the good and the bad. I get that. The whole tap out thing. Y'all gonna rely on Daniel Jones. I'm gonna tell y'all something for all y'all people that love Daniel Jones. The same people that love Daniel Jones now that he's got this starting job in Indianapolis, they hated him in New York. Y'all same people, y'all hated him when he played with the Giants because of the things that he did. Because of the stupid things that he did as far as his on the field play. Y'all hate him then, y'all love him now. Make that make sense. And maybe it's the coaching staff, like Shane Steichen and them, they say, okay, this is not a short-term thing with Daniel Jones. He's gonna be the starter for the whole year. No, he's not. Stop lying to the fan base. Stop lying to the organization. No, Daniel Jones is not going to be the starter for the whole year. It's going to be games that Indianapolis Colts should win that they're not going to win, and it's going to be because Daniel Jones was stuck in his own way, and he messed it up for y'all. It's going to be winnable games. Y'all are in a division with Houston and the Jaguars. C.J. Stroud had a phenomenal rookie year, had a sophomore slump last year. Y'all are in a winnable division. Somehow, y'all are going to find a way not to win the division because Daniel Jones is your starting quarterback. I'm telling you, there's going to be some games this year where y'all look back and y'all going to scratch your head. We had a chance to win this game. Oh, why didn't y'all not win this game? Oh, yeah, I forgot. Daniel Jones is the starting quarterback. He messed it up. He made a crucial mistake, made a crucial interception, made a boneheaded play in the most crucial moment of the game where we could have won. Or it's a 2-minute drive. He just needs to get them in field goal position. He throws an interception. Game over. I'm telling you, y'all happy now that he got this starting job. Y'all wasn't happy with him in New York. I'm telling you, he gonna smoke it for y'all. He's gonna smoke it. He's gonna smoke it. Now this coaching staff, they probably gave up on Anthony Richardson. They really did, and I really do think that this is Anthony Richardson. I really do think that he's gonna get traded. I really do think that because you gave up on somebody at 23 years old, somebody that you just drafted less than 2 years ago. He hasn't really played because he's hurt. He doesn't get the reps because he's hurt. And then when he's healthy and he do get the reps, y'all want to sit him on the bench. Last year, I get y'all bench him because of the head type of thing. This year, he comes back, he improves, he shows glimpses of what he can be, and y'all still want to sit him on the bench. He's going to be starting again before the year's over because Daniel Jones is definitely going to screw it up. Let's take a look at Daniel Jones' contract. I told my dad, I was like, they paying Daniel Jones like 14 to 15 million. That's almost like starter type money. You getting paid. I said, something sounds really strange about that. Y'all paying this man 14, 15 million dollars to be a backup quarterback. I'm like, something sounds strange about getting paid 14 to 15 million just to be a backup quarterback. That don't even sound right. He's getting paid for 1 year, 14 million with 13.15 million guaranteed. That's almost like kind of like starter money in a way, even though it's not. That's really strange to be paying a backup quarterback that much. I get it because he's a starter. He was a starter with the Giants his first like 7 years. So I get it. But to go to another team and get paid 14 million, that's a lot of money for a backup quarterback. And here we are. You know why? Because they had planned on him. When they signed him to that contract, they planned on him making him a starter from day one. We paying you 14 million, you're gonna be a starter from day one. These organizations, they try to be so slick. If you go back and you pay attention, you like they paid him for 1 year, 14 million. If you go back and you look at that, day one, they told him when he put pen to paper, you gonna be the starter day one. Don't you even worry about it. You gonna be the starter. You don't even have to worry about Anthony Richardson because with the money we paying you, you're gonna be a starter. And that's exactly what happened. You paying him this money. Daniel Jones' career record as a starter is 24 and 44 and 1. 24 and 44 and 1 with the tie. His first 3 years, he was 12 or 25. He only has one playoff win. That was a 31 and 24 win against the Minnesota Vikings in 2022. Daniel Jones in that one playoff game, he had 301 yards, 2 touchdowns. He ran for 78 yards. That was his only playoff appearance with the New York Giants. The New York Giants, they had a lucky year that year. Daniel Jones that year, he had 15 touchdowns, 5 interceptions. He completed 317 out of his 472 passes for 300,205 yards. He set a single-season career high in completions, passing yards, and passer rating that year. He had a career high in carries of 120 and rushing yards of 708 and 7 rush touchdowns. In that year, he only had 15 touchdowns and 5 interceptions. You know why they made the playoffs that year with Brian Daboll and his coaching staff? Because Brian Daboll and his coaching staff put the New York Giants in position to win without Daniel Jones hurting them. 15 touchdowns through 16 games started that whole entire year. Only 5 interceptions. Brian Daboll and his coaching staff put Daniel Jones in position not to hurt himself and not to hurt the team. Oh, yeah. They had somebody named Saquon Barkley. That was the reason. They had somebody named Saquon Barkley on the team that's going to run the ball effectively. And that's what led the New York Giants to the playoffs. We got Saquon. We're going to run the ball. We're going to be a run-first team. And when we need Daniel Jones to make a play on a third down, that's what will get him to make the play. But we're going to keep him out of harm's way by running the ball. Even if he has to run the ball, which Daniel Jones did. He did it effectively that year. The Giants also had a good defense that year. And that playoff game, that one playoff game where Daniel Jones lit it up, is because he was going against a Minnesota Vikings team that was horrible defensively that year. They were very horrible defensively that year was the Minnesota Vikings. So he had a lucky game of 301 yards with 2 touchdowns and ran for 78 yards. That's a good game by Daniel Jones. That's no hate there from me. I'm not hating. But Minnesota was so horrendous that year defensively that anybody could have did that, let alone Daniel Jones, who's not even a good quarterback. He did that against that Minnesota Vikings defense that year. That tells you everything you need to know. He got lucky. That Minnesota Vikings defense was so horrendous that year. And then when you have Saquon, that takes all the pressure off of an offense alone. You see what Saquon did with Jalen Hurts? Same thing. And Jalen Hurts is a very good quarterback. Take the pressure off Jalen Hurts. We got Saquon in the backfield to run the ball. When Jalen Hurts needs to make a critical play on third down, it's going to be easy for him. Or yet, they just got the tush push. That too. So, Saquon Barkley made life easier for Daniel Jones. Brian Daboll and his coaching staff kept Daniel Jones out of harm's way. Saquon Barkley made Daniel Jones look so good that year that they paid Daniel Jones instead of paying Saquon. They put Saquon on the franchise tag and they paid Daniel Jones. Well, that's one of the most stupidest things in NFL history that you could have done. And we about 3 years later, and Saquon gets a Super Bowl, and the Giants are just a complete disaster, and Daniel Jones is on a whole nother team, and he's going to be starting, and y'all think that this is all flowers and roses just because he beat out Anthony Richardson? They are the same 2 quarterbacks. You see, after Saquon left, you see what Daniel Jones was after he got that money, right? He got exposed. You wasn't that good like that, bro. You wasn't good like that. Saquon saved you. That defense saved you. Brian Daboll kept you out of harm's way. You wasn't good like that. So stop trying to put it like this man is he's just such a good quarterback because he beat out Anthony Richardson. They are the same 2 quarterbacks. They the same 2 quarterbacks. One is just athletic and a couple of years, 3 years younger. They're the same 2 quarterbacks. Stop trying to act like Daniel Jones is just that much better than Anthony Richardson when he's not. Please stop it. Please. So, Daniel Jones, he's gonna mess it up, and Anthony Richardson's gonna get his turn. You're not even worried about that. It's coming. Don't worry about it. It's like the Cowboys. When we know they're gonna score, it's coming. Just give it time. It's coming. Let's talk about the Cleveland Browns. We know Shedeur Sanders is hurt with the oblique injury. They're taking that day by day. He's day to day. The last time they reported on it. So that means Dillon Gabriel got to start against the Philadelphia Eagles. The Browns win that game 22-13. Dillon Gabriel completed 13 out of 18 passes. He completed his first 8 out of 9 passes in the first quarter. He had 143 yards. He had 1 touchdown and 1 interception. A QBR is 72.2. The good and the bad. He showed a lot of good. He really did show a lot of good. The bad. 2 receivers were in the same area as each other. And Dillon Gabriel, he rolled left. Then he threw a pass in between the 2 receivers that was picked off. Ended up getting picked off. 2 receivers in the same area. Instead of throwing it away, Dillon Gabriel gets picked off. Instead of just throwing the ball away. That's a rookie mistake right there. Not a problem. You know what you're going to get. The good and the bad. Other than that mistake right there, he was really good, especially with his passing game. He was really good. The Eagles get a 22-13 win. That's really good. That is actually good. You just didn't have a better game. You had a good game. It just wasn't better than Shedeur's. So after the game, when they asked you about your performance and all this, and you have to go on and you have to say, I don't play for clicks. I play to compete. When you're going on and you on a team with the same teammate, you go on and you say, I don't play for clicks. I play to compete at the highest level. You compete. That's all good. You play to compete. and you try to do your job. That's all good. Now saying I don't play for clicks and all that, why are you sneak dissing and throwing a teammate of yours under the bus? Why? You didn't have to say that, dude. You didn't have to say that. Why would you take it down that route? You did not have to say that, bro. It's stupid. You just as worse. You just as worse. You get in front of the camera, in front of the microphone, and you just start talking out the side of your neck. You start talking out the side of your neck. You get a microphone and the camera in front of you, and then you want to start talking out the side of your neck. You 50 times as worse. You 50 times as worse. You don't have to say all that, bro. Just because you on the camera, you got the microphone, but you don't have to say all that. Why? The dude is on your team that you sneak dissing. This man is better than you. This dude is better than you. You got drafted 2 rounds ahead of him. That was lucky. That was lucky. Shedeur should have been drafted 1st round. You got drafted 3rd round. Shedeur got drafted in the 5th round. He was a 5th round pick. You got drafted 3rd round. Everybody named Mama knows that Shedeur should have been drafted 1st round. He should have been a top 5 pick. So for you to go and say that when he already had a better preseason game than you, I know you ranked 3rd on the depth chart just because they want to have Shedeur. They want to try to lowball Shedeur. Shedeur should be ranked 2nd on the depth chart ahead of you. But because what the organization has against Shedeur Sanders, we know what it is. But for you got a big head because you got drafted before Shedeur and you ranked ahead of Shedeur on the depth chart. That don't mean nothing. The only reason why all this is what it is because they blackballing Shedeur. That's all it is. They want to try to teach Shedeur a lesson. And they don't like Shedeur's daddy. That's all it is. He's better than you. He's already shown it in 1 preseason game. You had a good preseason game too, bro. But it wasn't better than Shedeur's. So for you to get a microphone and the camera in front of you, and then you want to talk about you don't play for clicks, but you steady talking out the side of your neck. So when you do get in there this year and you have a bad game, that's what the people gonna remember. They gonna remember what you said. It's gonna come back. It's gonna come back and bite you in the butt. It's gonna come back. Believe that. You take the good and the bad, and in life, things come back. Karma is a real thing. It's gonna come back. Let me know what you guys think about Dillon Gabriel and the performance he had and what he said after the game. Let me know what you think about the Colts quarterback situation with Daniel Jones getting the nod over Anthony Richardson. Remember to like, comment, and subscribe, and we out of here.